Adult star decapitated children's dad as she was having an affair with own stepson she secretly married. Apparently, this affair with her husband's stepson had been going on for years. And who said romance is dead in the year of 2025? Devyn Michaels was convicted of killing her ex-husband, Jonathan Willette, and now faces 51 years to life in prison following the murder in August of 2023. There was actually a funny moment when she was found guilty in the courtroom during her recent trial. After everybody was basically dismissed within the courtroom, her lawyers basically didn't say fuck all to her. They didn't even look at her. They just went about their separate ways. Like, they didn't say goodbye to her, nothing. I was like, wow, okay. That's a bit of an interesting approach. Especially when you're representing a client. There might be nothing to that, don't get me wrong. But I did find it a rather interesting moment. And even they probably could have figured out, like, yeah, this woman is cooked. Like, she is done for. And the prosecutors say the 47-year-old actor killed the realtor as she was reportedly unhappy with how quickly he was moving in with her and their 2 daughters in Las Vegas. Then why didn't you just tell him, hey, I think we should slow down a bit here. I think things are moving way too fast. I'm not really comfortable with that. And I don't think now's the right time to be moving in or whatever it may be, or moving back in. So maybe we should just, like, slow things down a bit. In a normal relationship, communicate with one another so you're both on the same level. You both have a complete clear understanding of boundaries and whatnot. That's all it takes, is a bit of communication between 2 individuals. Like, you're both adults. Talk to each other, or talk to the husband, or talk to the wife. Less said, basically. So Michaels had married him in 2012 before their divorce in 2018 and went on to marry his son from another relationship, and she apparently called her marriage to the 29-year-old a marriage of convenience, with it being reported that the pair had been having an affair for years. The son, Willette Jr., told the jury he had no involvement in his dad's death. By the way, I don't know how you pronounce his first name, so I'm just calling him Willette Jr. for short. Prosecutors say that Michaels was jealous of her ex-husband after he obtained sole custody of their daughters, even though he was reportedly preparing to move back in with them. The pair had apparently discussed the living arrangement in the months prior in a bid to keep their family together. However, investigators reckon Michaels was concerned that Willette being around would disrupt the life she had established with his son. God forbid. Last thing you want is your ex-husband moving in with you again and trying to keep the family together, and it being only for it to be a major convenience for your new relationship that just so happens to be with his own son. You can't make this shit up. You really can't. According to a video played in court on Thursday the 30th of November, the adult star told police she hit Willette with a candlestick-like item while he was laying on his stomach receiving a massage from her at his home. He didn't say anything, she told detectives. He stopped moving. Investigators claim she admitted to cutting off his head, as the police detective Dennis Ozara testified that she put it in a laundry basket and drove it home before dumping it in her neighbor's rubbish. I love how she decided to dump it in her neighbor's rubbish. She could have allegedly taken that head anywhere. She could have dumped it in the woods. I imagine there's probably woods nearby. I don't know the area. She could have done anything in it. She could have, kicked it off a mountain somewhere. During her police interview, a rubbish truck driver drove outside and beeped, which prompted her to reportedly tell investigators that Willette went bye-bye. Police have reportedly not recovered his head or the murder weapon. Willette was found by his mum, wrapped in blankets and bloody, according to arrest report. Prosecutor during the trial said Michaels wanted her ex-husband out of the picture, as they added, and the truth is, the walls were closing in on Devyn Michaels and the fantasy that she had put together. And you now, if you don't have this kind of romance in your life, you know, giving your partner a massage and then hitting them with an item that basically knocks them unconscious or worse, then I don't know what kind of relationship you basically have in your lives, but it's not a good one. It's not a good one whatsoever. Also, I do want to add that she mentioned, as is said in the article, that she apparently decided to cut off his head and then stick it in a nearby neighbour's rubbish bin, because as you do. I could 100% picture her doing that as well, because she gave me that kind of vibes during the trial. Like, she gave me the vibes where she's basically unhinged. I mean, her hairstyle was basically unhinged. Like, she looked like she just crawled out of bed during each of her appearances throughout the trial in court. So that didn't really help matters in terms of, you know, proving her innocence or trying to make herself look like or trying to put herself in a good name, if that makes sense. But, you know, it is what it is. And a lot of people still have questions surrounding the stepson, whether or not he was actually involved in the murder of his father. I can't remember the whole trial, like what was said between each individual, every single witness that was on the stand. But Jonathan's son did actually testify during the trial. You couldn't really hear a lot of what he was saying because he seemed as though he was mumbling to himself, and even though he was asked to speak up quite a bit, you still couldn't really get what he was saying. You would put that down to the court audio, like the courtrooms might have bad audio or the microphones might be rubbish. But this wasn't the case, at least in my opinion anyway. We know she had at least one kid with Jonathan before she murdered him. So that's gonna be weird now. Like, her stepbrother is also now her stepfather, well, was her stepfather. That's gonna be extremely weird. That's gonna raise a lot of questions. That's gonna be a bit of an awkward conversation around Thanksgiving table. I know it's Thanksgiving right now for you lot in America as I'm recording this, so happy Thanksgiving. But yeah, extremely weird, extremely concerning. Your turn to give your opinion on this episode, on this story, on the people involved in this story, and anything else you want to share, you know, in terms of your public opinion. So with that being said, thank you all for tuning in to today's episode. Until next time, take care, stay safe, have a good rest of your day, see you guys later. Bye bye for now.